Good morning and congratulations to the Chicago Cubs for their World Series. So exciting. All right, so this month we are talking about managing a slip up. And the truth of the matter is, the first step in managing a slip up is to simply recognize it. Now, I know that sounds like an oversimplification, and perhaps it is, but I'm going to give you two ways to recognize a slip up that is going to make a huge difference in your ability to recover from a slip up. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Stacy Portugal. I am a concierge weight loss coach, and I help over 40 women who are struggling with their changing bodies. I help them to get the results they deserve. So let's move forward. It's going to be a quick one today. So as I mentioned, the first step is really just to recognize when you have slipped up. And again, it sounds really simple, but it's really essential to help you recover. So the power is really in the pause. It's understanding that moment between on plan and going off plan. So you really have to have that moment where you recognize that you are off plan. And the first thing is to recognize it. So, hey Pam, I see you on. All right, so let's talk about two ways that we can recognize when we're off plan. And for those of us in Chicago, it's been a very exciting week. So you may have slipped up a little bit this week, and that's okay. We are going to talk today about your first step in managing that slip up. And the first step, of course, is to recognize it. So the way to really recognize it is it's the power of tracking. So hopefully, and my people will attest, the people who are really tracking are much more likely to recognize a slip up. So if you are devoted to your tracker, if you are using that tracker as a tool for weight loss, a tool for awareness, a tool to start recognizing certain behaviors, you are much more likely to notice that slip up pretty early on. So if you're kind of going through life unconsciously, if you're eating unconsciously, if you are, if you're in the habit of just eating whatever and you don't track it, you may not notice right away that you've had a slip up. Sometimes I work with people and they're, not quite on board with tracking. And I keep pounding it into them how important it is, because at least at the beginning, it really, really sets the tone for awareness. It sets the tone for learning. So the first step in managing a slip up is to recognize it, and we are much more likely to recognize it once we are tracking. Okay, so tracking is going to give you that awareness, and then you might say, well, wait a second, I'm tracking this. Oh my gosh, I just realized I had way more than the number of servings of that ice cream than I meant to have. And now I've kind of, altered my day. So we have to have that awareness that we're just going to get through tracking. The second thing is having a positive mental attitude. And I can't stress that enough either. If you get into the habit of beating yourself up every time something goes wrong, it's a very unproductive way of thinking. So we have to have a more helpful attitude. I always say to people, don't look back, look forward. That's where you're headed, right? So we can't worry and ruminate in the past. We have to look forward. So once we know that we've slipped up, you are in rescue mode. You are in learning mode. You are in solution focused mode, right? So you're really thinking of ways, okay, how can I salvage this? And you may not be able to, but maybe your positive mental attitude will be, you know what? I can't really salvage this, but hey, I'm one meal away from being back on track. I'm just going to focus on my next meal. So whatever that positive mental thinking looks like for you, whatever is appropriate for the situation is what you should be doing. So having a positive mental attitude, not ruminating in the past, being the driver in the driver's seat, looking forward, because your car is in drive, right? It's not in reverse. We don't normally drive in reverse. So looking back, spending too much time looking back is really not helpful and it's not productive. We have to look forward. That's where we're going. And the idea that, not spending too much time in the rearview mirror, you use it as a learning tool, but don't use it to beat yourself up or have any negative thoughts. You got to lose the black and white thinking like, oh my gosh, I just screwed up. Well, I might as well just eat the whole box of Oreos, right? No, not okay. We're intelligent and we have to be solution focused. When you're overly focused on problems, solutions don't happen. You're not leaving you're not leaving space in your brain for learning. You're not leaving space in your brain to focus on solutions. So really, really understanding that your pattern of thinking when you've had a slip up is essential. So in order to recognize it, we have to be in the habit of tracking, so we have that level of awareness. And we also have to have a positive mental attitude. It's all about your thought process. So, the idea here is eating consciously, it's staying positive, and that is really step one when you've had a slip up. So I hope this was helpful for you. Once again, congratulations to the Chicago Cubs, World Series champions. Most of us in Chicago, we've waited a long time for this. So if you are not part of my newsletter email list, all you got to do is click the link in this post. And I want to tell you what's coming up for the people exclusively that are in the newsletter. Number one, we've got the Fit and Healthy free 5-day challenge coming up in just about a week. So I encourage you, it doesn't cost anything, just click on that link, get on the email. Also, I've got a food prep video that's coming out. I'm going to really, really try to be thorough and give you as many food prep tips as I can fit into a reasonable length. And again, this is only coming to the newsletter. This will not be on Facebook. And the third thing I've got coming out is a free download, and it's going to be the culmination of the Fit and Healthy Challenge. It's going to be holiday eating tips. So anyway, just click on that link, get on the newsletter, and have a happy Thursday. Congratulations to the Cubs. And guys, remember, the first step to managing a slip up is simply to recognize it. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.